You ever wake up one day and realize you've been living your whole life trying to make everyone else proud, but you don't even recognize who you are anymore? You're not crazy. You're just carrying the weight of other people's dreams on your back. And it's time to set that down, because choosing yourself, that ain't selfish, it's sacred. And Netflix's new TV show Forever just gave us one of the realest portraits of that truth that I've seen in a long time. So you've got two teens, Keisha and Justin, both trying to survive a pressure cooker of expectation. And they come from two very different kitchens. You got Keisha, inner city, 1-bedroom apartment, raised by a single mom who's doing the best that she can, but unintentionally makes her daughter carry the emotional weight of the house. She's an only child dealing with trauma, dealing with secrets, and that shame that black girls simply get told to suck up. And then there's Justin, quiet suburb, 2-parent household, money in the bank, younger brother in the back seat, but still drowning under the pressure of legacy, achievement, and being the good son. Both of them are trying to be perfect for their parents, for the world, and for each other. And in doing so, they're slowly erasing themselves. Look, I've lived this. I've been in relationships where I've showed up as everything except myself, where I didn't want to rock the boat, where I thought if I just keep them happy, maybe it'll be enough. But like Justin, I was disappearing, piece by piece, smile by smile. And I'm not just talking about romance. I've had to speak the truth to pastors, to family, and friends that I once thought I owed my silence to. It's one of the scariest things that you can ever do, to finally say, this is my life and I'm ready to live it on my terms. This show doesn't just tell you that story, it shows it, it embodies it. Keisha and Justin both type out these full, vulnerable paragraphs and then delete them and send I'm good instead. Most of us have been there. Like, how many times have you almost said something of how you're truly feeling, but then erased it to keep the peace or to not look weak? This show actually sees us. And when Justin finally breaks, he admits that Keisha and music were the only two things that ever made him feel like himself. That wasn't weakness, that was simply revelation. Justin gets crushed when Keisha chooses somebody else for prom. Keisha hides the shame of that leaked video. And then Justin says, I'm happy as long as I have Keisha. But that ain't love, that's emotional dependency. Real love doesn't erase you, it reminds you who you are. And can we talk about the visual poetry? Keisha walks away at the end of the show and looks back. Justin walks away and doesn't. That's not shade, that's symbolism. I think she's still tethered to the past, and he's finally walking into his future. Justin loves his music, that's his gift, but watch how the world tries to crush it. His own mother heard the beat he made and asked, wait, this isn't even your voice. She downplays it, doesn't understand sampling, creativity, or how production is art. Keisha's dad, who was never around, jumps in just to dismiss it. Oh, you're just a beat maker. And even the lady in the salon threw shade, calling the kid a wannabe DJ Mustard. This is what it looks like when people don't understand your purpose. And instead of asking and inquiring, they mock. That's why self-belief, it ain't optional, y'all. It's oxygen. Because you might be building your dream in silence, but they'll only clap and support once it's loud enough to benefit them. This series shows us that family doesn't always mean freedom. See, Justin's mom is in therapy. She admits to being a catastrophic parent. And Keisha's mom, she's simply trying to heal, but also projects her pain. See, family can raise you and still not see. Keisha and Justin both had to break up with their parents' dream. And that scene where Justin says, I don't want to go to Northwestern, I want to make music. That's not just a college decision, that's spiritual emancipation. And we see him take a gap year, work at CVS, pursue his passion. He wasn't quitting, he was simply choosing to be aligned. Shows like Forever matter because they've been giving us what the culture has been starving for. Soft black love, real black girlhood, vulnerable black boyhood. This show is what happens when we stop performing and we start being seen. I actually saw a comment on LinkedIn from Krista Hawkins that says something like, no more Moesha, or sister, or that's so Raven. The media often overlooks our stories, but I hope this show is a step toward changing that, and I hope so as well. This isn't just for the teens, it's for the grown folks still healing that teenager within them. And maybe you're watching this and feeling kind of called out. Good, because I'm telling you right now, if you're still living for somebody else's dream, that ain't living, that's performing. Justin and Keisha taught us that love doesn't always mean forever, but becoming yourself, that's the one thing worth holding on to. So today, fight for your name, choose your path, break the loop and the cycle, and finally choose you. Now the basketball scene, this was my favorite metaphor. Justin checked himself into the basketball game. Without the coach's permission, he had no green light, but he just decided that now was his moment to shine. That right there, that's the psychology of self-worth. Sometimes you gotta sub yourself in. Stop waiting on somebody to believe in you. Call your own shot, own your space, bet on your gift. And guess what? He scored, he balled out, he shined. And then there's that scene with the police. Justin's driving, and we see the police lights start flashing right behind him. And I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. My stomach dropped. Yours did too. Because for a split second, we were no longer watching a show. We were reliving trauma, but the cop car just drives past. And that's the brilliance of Forever. It doesn't need violence to show the fear that black boys live with. It just needs a moment, a flash, in silence. And we see Justin breaks up with Keisha, but more importantly, he breaks up with his parents' expectations. Keisha tells him, look, if you're not gonna fight for us, at least fight for Justin. So let me ask you, what do you think happens next? Does season 2 flash forward like 10 years? Do we see them in college during COVID, Zoom calling from separate cities? Do they reconnect, stay friends, stay strangers? Or maybe season 2 isn't about them at all. Maybe it's all about the village, the parents, the siblings. I don't know. Whatever happens, one thing is for sure. Forever wasn't just about first love. It was about finally falling in love with yourself. If this spoke to you, drop a comment below or send it to somebody who you know is still trying to break that cycle and experience self-love for the first time. Because sometimes love doesn't last forever, but the lessons, those stay with you for a lifetime.